Hi guys. welcome to Charity's Bubble. Your number one. I go to the store, do a little bit of shopping for Christmas because I haven't. So I was showing you how it looks. See how it looks? It's so dry, but it's sunny. But don't be fooled by the sun because it's very, very cold. So you have to be all bundled up and just wearing your. So I'm wearing my coat here because it's very, very cold. So like I said, today I have a schedule. I told you here you work by a schedule. So right now I'm going to the store. I'm gonna get some stuff from the store, and then I'm gonna go get my daughter. Then after I get her, I'll come and feed them. After I feed them, I will sleep from 1 to 4:30. Then I wake up. I prepare myself because I have to go to work by 6. I have to be at work tonight. So like I told you guys, we work by schedule. So like I said, I looked up and I saw someone had shared a message there on the WhatsApp group that the embassy's appointments had been cancelled. Yes, they have been cancelled, and it's gonna be until the 3rd, from December 22nd up to the 3rd of January. Of course, you guys know what's going on. The Omicron virus that everybody is kinda, I would say, like not even concerned about. But I think it's good to be concerned because if you guys can remember, when the country had been closed down because of COVID and nobody was going anywhere, it was really tough. So it's always good to remember those times and try to do the best. Right now, when I watch, is that everybody is just ignoring whatever is going on. There is no social distancing. People are not wearing their masks. People are going to social gatherings. All that stuff is going on. But when you look at it, of course, they are saying that the Omicron virus is not very severe like the Delta or the other variants of the virus. But I look at working in healthcare, I look at how overwhelmed we felt, because we did feel overwhelmed, very overwhelmed. And I'm looking at people, especially in Africa, whereby they're going to all these gatherings. They do not care. They do not social distance. Others have been vaccinated, yes, but they're saying, since I've been vaccinated, I am not going. I have full protection. You don't have full protection when you're vaccinated. You have to wear your mask. It's very important for you to wear your mask, because if you do not wear your mask, the consequences are going to find you. I was talking to another friend of mine, and he was telling me that he had COVID. Very mild, very, very, very mild COVID. Actually, he only experienced some symptoms for only 3 days. He had a little bit of fever, a little bit of nausea, and then it was gone. But he told me that since that time, his allergies have become horrible. His allergies are bad. He has allergies like when it's cold. He's sneezing, all that has become 10 times worse than it was. So you might experience COVID or whatever and not become very sick, but there are those long-lasting effects of the disease. So you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself, you're protecting your family, because if you don't, then when the disease comes, you will not have a turning back. You won't have a turning back, guys. So it's good to protect ourselves. Now, there's another person who was asking me about the DS-260, and they were asking me if they need to put the details of the family members. Now, that's a DV 2022 winner. He's doing his DS-260 and he's kinda lost. Now, what I can tell him is that when you are filling out the DS-260, the DS-260 is very different from the first application. So your DS-260, you have to mention everybody who is going with you. You are, if you are family members. Remember, I told you in the first application, you necessarily do not need to include your family members' passport. You just need to state their name and their date of birth and all that. But in the DS-260, it's a little bit different, because a DS-260 is a form. It's Department of State 260. That form, normally, it tells all about you and the family members that are going to the American Embassy for the appointment for the DV. It tells more about you guys. So, what you need to do is you have to have the passport, of course. I'm trying to answer the question for this person, and I sent him the link to join the WhatsApp group, and I hope that he did. So he's expecting me to answer the question. When you are filling out the DS-260, I want you to have in mind that the DS-260 is information about you and your family. About you and your family. So you must have their passport numbers, enter them, even for the kids, everyone. You have to enter everything. The other thing about the DS-260 is where you are going to explain your occupation. It's where you're going to explain your education. You will explain all that. But remember, they changed. They said that you are not going to be asked for documents to send to KCC before you go to an interview. So the DS-260, what's going to happen is that everything, if it's your details, the work that you do, your passport number, all that stuff should be there. For your wife, if you have a wife, every detail about them, and their passport details, and the kids too. The kids too. They are whatever. Sometimes they might ask you the occupation of your spouse, which you should indicate there, but it doesn't count much if they were not the first applicant. So it's very, very, very important for you to know that. Another thing about the DS-260, there's gonna be a question there. My car is very hot. I have to adjust the heat in my car. It's very, very, very hot, and I don't like a lot of heat. It just makes me not feel very good. So I like my car to be a little bit cooler, so I'm trying to adjust it. So like I said, the DS-260 is gonna ask you if you're going to travel with your whole family. They're gonna ask you that. So that is where you tell them that not all of you are going to travel at the same time, and you tell them the possible date that you want them to travel, because normally some people are not able to travel at the same time because of finances, especially the airfare and all that stuff. So you have to indicate there and tell them that the day that you expect your family members to travel. So Gigi, this is my last born. I don't know, let me adjust. And she's trying to cry, so I'm gonna be very fast and finish this video. So like I said, let me unbuckle her. Like I said, you have to indicate and say if you're traveling, all of you, or you are traveling with your family members. You have to indicate there so that they know, even when you're going for the interview, that you will travel alone. But that doesn't change the visa that you will be given, because I said that the visa that you're given, the main applicant, all the other family members derive. They derive or they benefit from that visa. So if it's a family of 5 people, it is one visa. It is termed as one visa. It is not 5. So that is why I told you guys that the visa that you get will only be 6 months. It's only going to be 6 months. So simply because it's going to be 6 months, even if you're traveling separately, you have to make sure that when you come to the US, you work very hard and you are able to bring your family here in the US before their visa expires. It's very, very important. Look at my child. She's I don't know what she is doing. My car is a little bit longer, so, and I've dropped the seats back there so she can go there for a little bit. So guys, it's very, very important for you to know about that document. Very, very important. So every detail about your family members has to be there, because if you do not put the details, then it might cause maybe the delay of your visa. And at the same time, when you are attempting to fill out your DS-260, make sure that all the family members have a passport. It's very, very important for you to do that. Make sure that all your my car has got a child lock, so even if she tries to open that door, she won't be able to open. Normally what happens is that when I stop the car, I have to go outside and open the doors for them. I have put a child lock on my where they sit, because I don't want to be driving and them opening doors when I'm driving, so she can be able to open. It's just a safety thing. And of course, when you see When you look at where she sits, it's a different seat. It's a car seat for babies. I find that when you're carrying your babies, they have to be on a car seat just to protect them. And especially now, this one has a car seat, and my 5-year-old has a car seat. If you travel without a car seat with babies, and you are caught, you're caught by the policeman, you find that you will be fined double, because you are not only putting yourself in trouble, you are putting the kids in danger. So you have to be very, very wary of that. So kids have to be on their car seats. And look, she's coming now. I'm stopped. I'm almost to get to the store, so I just stopped here to finish the video. So guys, I will see you in another video, and keep the questions coming, and I will answer them as I go. I will try all my best to do a live show. I know my last live show didn't go well, because the internet there was a storm. There was a very bad storm, and I had trouble. So that's why I had to end my show very, very, very fast. So guys, until next time, thank you and God bless you.